Hello, welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to explore tree pose. So we're going to work through some lying down, some seated, and then coming into the full expression of tree pose. You don't need any props, although for the balance pose at the end, you may find that if your balance is really off, you might want a wall or a chair nearby. So just have those handy if you know that your balance is really wobbly. Otherwise, nothing is needed. So we'll get started with a quote by Robert Louis Stevenson. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. So let's go ahead and start by lying back, lying all the way back onto our backs here. Hug both your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze there. And then release that left leg all the way down on the ground so it'll be long on the mat. And go ahead and keep that right knee bent into your chest for a moment, squeezing that in. And then go ahead and open it out to the right-hand side. So leave it bent, but open it out to the side. So if you know tree pose, this is like tree pose, but lying down. So obviously balance isn't involved here, but we're getting that right hip opening. We're opening out to the side there. So I have the sole of my right foot is up against my left leg, and my knee is out to the right. So we're just gonna stay here for a few breaths. And while you're in this pose, this is the foundation. So we're lying down right now, but you think about trees, how they have a foundation, they have their roots. This is our foundation. We're rooting into the mat here while we're lying down and opening up our hip here. Take another inhale and another exhale. And then go ahead and bring that knee back into your chest and release that leg out straight on the mat. And then go ahead and bring in that left leg into your chest, squeezing that in, giving it a nice hug. So your right leg is straight out on the mat. And then from there, you're just gonna go ahead and take this right leg out to the side. So your your left leg out to the left, excuse me. Left knee is out to the left, and my left sole of my foot is on my right leg now. So again, I'm in this pose of tree, but lying down on the ground. So no balance is required here. We're just getting that foundation. So we're gonna breathe here for a few rounds. You can close your eyes if you like. Just really feel into this pose, really feel this opening up. And your knee may be a bit off the ground. It may not come all the way down on the ground, so that's fine. Don't try to force it. We're just trying to really open up the hip area here. And this will come in handy when we actually do tree pose. Another inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and bring that knee back into your chest. Bring the right knee into your chest to join the left. And then you can go ahead and rock yourself up to a seat, or you can come over to the side and come up. So whichever works best for you. And now we're gonna do a very similar pose, but seated. So this time we're gonna go ahead and stretch that. I'm gonna start with my right this time. My right leg will be outstretched. And I'm just gonna bring in, so go ahead and sit up here on your hip sitting bones. Your right leg is stretched out on the mat. Bring your knee into your chest. Give it a hug, much like we were when we were laying down. And now you're just gonna open up this leg out to the left here. So you're gonna have a very similar pose, but seated. So now we're in a tree pose-like position here with the left sole of the foot against the right leg, and the left knee is out to the left here. So sit up nice and tall. And from here, you're gonna fold forward over that outstretched leg. So inhale, get tall, and exhale and fold forward. And I want you to soften here. I want you to soften into this pose. You can you can let the foot go, or you can keep it flexed, whichever feels best for you. Obviously, keeping it flexed, you're gonna feel more of that hamstring stretch, or you can soften. But here we're working on softening, and we're working on some flexibility. So much like a tree, they need a foundation, a strong foundation, but then they need to have some flexibility so they can sway with the wind and the storms of life that may come along. And so go ahead and soften here. And I want you to think about, what seeds would you like to plant in your life that you would like to harvest down the road? So you don't have to, this doesn't have to be a certain season of the year or a certain, New Year's or whatever. It can be any time. Just, you can always plant new seeds. Maybe there's something you want to change. Maybe there's something you want to do more of. Maybe there's something you want to let go of. What seeds would you like to plant for today's class? And then from there, you're going to go ahead and inhale and come all the way up. And then we're just going to twist over to our right from here. So go ahead and leave this leg out, and we're just going to simply twist over to the right. So just open yourself up there. And let all that go for a moment. Again, we're softening here. We're also working on a little flexibility in our spine. Release that twist, come back to center. And then go ahead and bring both your knees into your chest for just a moment. Give yourself a nice hug. And now we're going to release that left leg out long on the mat. Sit up on your sitting bones here. And now your right leg is bent into your chest. So give that a nice little hug there, a nice little squeeze. And then open up that right leg out to the right. So now I'm opening up my knee. I've got my right sole of my foot is against my left leg. And the right knee is out to the right-hand side here. So inhale and get nice and tall here. And again, we're going to fold forward. We're going to soften. We're going to work on that flexibility. And you can stay more upright if you really find that your lower back just can't handle the bending forward too much. Go ahead and release there any amount. So you might be more upright, and that's fine. Find where you are and just release into this pose, allowing yourself to soften and find that flexibility. If you have tight hamstrings, you're really going to feel this. So, you may stay a little bit more upright. Maybe you're super flexible and you can come further down. This is my edge right here. So find your edge and stay there. And breathe through this pose. Breathing helps a lot, especially if you do have tight hamstrings, tight legs, tight anything. Sending breath there is not going to make them automatically flexible, but it will help with the stretch. So send your breath there. Visualize your breath going to those muscles. And then go ahead and inhale and come up. And now we're just going to twist to the left. So just a nice, easy twist here. It doesn't have anything too crazy. We're working on kind of that rotation in the spine there. Allow yourself some flexibility there also. So try to stay upright here. Try not to hunch over. We're trying to stay more upright, tall in the spine. And then go ahead and exhale and release back to center. Hug your knees into your chest one more time before we're going to come to a stand. We're going to stand up from here. So go ahead and stand up when you feel ready. And we're going to come into Warrior Two. So I'm going to start with my left leg forward and my right leg is back. So my left leg is bent deeply. My right leg is back. Come into a nice Warrior Two stance here. So go ahead and bring your arms out long and to the sides. Open up here. Here we're working on strength and resilience. So much like a tree, we have to have a good foundation. We have to be flexible and be able to soften, but we also have to have strength and resilience to deal with what may come our way. So here in Warrior Two, this is a nice, powerful, strengthening pose. Really allow your arms to, as if they could just continue out to each side indefinitely. Just really open those up. Another inhale and exhale here. And then we're going to come forward into a side angle. So we're just going to bring that left elbow down to our left knee, and the right arm will go up overhead. And breathe here a couple of rounds. Really strengthening, really stretching out here from the fingertips all the way down to your toes. And then we're going to come back up into Warrior Two. We're going to go through those two poses a couple of rounds. So inhale here. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, side angle. Once more, inhale, Warrior Two. And then exhale, side angle. Come all the way back up. Bring your feet together, and now we're going to come into our tree pose. We'll do the other side here in a moment. So we're going to start with tree pose. We're going to open up, we're going to go with the other leg. We're going to go the opposite. So we had this one open out to the side. Now we're going to go to the other side here. So I'm going to move it here a little bit so I have a little level area here. So if you need a wall or a chair, go ahead and grab that. And we're going to start out by just bringing our right knee into our chest. So go ahead and find a point out there that you can focus on. Carefully bring that knee into your chest or as high up as you can. Hold here for just a minute, and then open it out to the right, just like we've been doing. This should be a similar feeling movement now. Open that right leg out to the right. Find your point to gaze at. You might wobble, you might fall, that's okay. Bring your hands together at your heart, at your chest. Breathe here and just explore how this pose feels. Notice your, have to come out for a moment, come back in. If you got to come out and come back in, go for it. Do what you need to do. Really find your point to focus on. And feel your roots, your grounded foot rooting into the ground there, just like a tree. And if you feel steady, you can gradually bring those arms up overhead if you like. Let the tree sway. It's going to. That's okay. Just be here for a moment, explore. Come out, come back in. Just breathe here and really keep that point of focus. Another inhale. Another exhale. And release that foot down. Shake that all out. Nicely done. Good job. Tree pose is a great pose. It can be challenging. Some days you might be able to do it better than others. It just depends. So just keep playing with it. And again, you can always use a wall or a chair to help you with balance. So now we're going to come into that warrior two on the other side. So go ahead and open up that right knee, and that left leg will be back. So you're going to be bent deeply into your right leg. Go ahead and come in here, nice deep stance here, and bring those arms out to each side and really just feel yourself growing long out each side. Stay here for a few breaths. I'm just going to move into it and feel this pose. Feel the strength of this pose. Feel the foundation of your feet all the way up through your hips, all the way up to your arms and extending out in either direction with both of your hands. And then we're going to go ahead and lean forward and come into that side angle. So now my right elbow is on my right, top of my right knee. Bring that left arm up overhead. And really feel from the hand that's overhead, those fingers all the way down to those left toes. This nice long line of energy there. Really opening up. Breathe here with all of your body. Now we're going to come up to warrior two, and then we're going to move through these. So inhale, get nice and long here in your warrior two, and then exhale into side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Bring your feet together, and now you know what we're going to do. We're going to do the other side. This time we're going to use our left leg coming out and come into tree pose on that side. So go ahead and find your point to gaze at out on the distance. I have trees to look at, so appropriate for tree pose. Maybe you're inside, there's a point on your wall you can look at, or maybe there's a photo of a tree, or maybe there's a window you can look out, and there are trees to look at. Whatever it is, find that point of gaze. Going to balance on our right leg. And now we're going to bring that left knee into our chest. That's your first little part of balancing. Again, a chair or a wall could come in very handy here. And then open up that left knee out to the left. Put the sole of your foot up on your upper thigh, or it can be on the lower, on your shin. Find that point, hands at your heart center. Really feel the foundation of that grounded foot rooting down the ground. Imagine roots coming from your foot, anchoring you here, even as you sway. And if you feel steady, you can bring those arms up overhead. And allow your fingers to become like leaves. They're opening up to gather all that you need for the seeds that you have planted. Stay here for another breath. Breathe in and exhale, and release that foot down and shake that all out. Nicely done. If you fell out, that's okay. It's just come back into the pose. And if you want to keep playing with it a little bit more, if you want to go and grab a chair, go for it. Tree pose is a very wonderful pose. It helps to open things up. It helps keep your balance, and it helps root you and ground you in the moment. So thank you for joining me for today's class, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again.